What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the BSBN podcast. I'm your host, Patrick. On the top left, we have Vic. On the top right, we have Dan. What's going on, boys? How you doing?
Doing good.
How you doing?
Doing good. No complaints here.
All right, so today's agenda is pretty damn simple. We are doing the 2020 NFL mock draft for round one. We're just going to give our takes, little short synopsis of what we feel is going to be taken, where and why, and then move on to the next person. We're going to open up here. Obviously, we're going to do all 32 picks and just kind of go over that. So hopefully you guys enjoy. If you want more content like this, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will keep putting out the podcast weekly. All right, let's start off obviously with pick number one. We
all know pick one is
Las Vegas Raiders.
Ty Simpson, right?
Ty Simpson, absolutely.
Simpson, yeah.
All right. I'm glad we're all in agreement here.
I don't know why all of a sudden Ty Simpson is getting thrown into this first pick. Because, yeah, don't get me wrong, his tape is good, but the fact that he only played in 15 games, I don't think is enough. There's not enough to watch on how good he'll be in the NFL. So that's why at number one, I have the Raiders going with Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah, I mean, if Simpson went one, then my whole draft was going to have to change just now. So as long as we know that was all sarcasm, I'm sure we all got Mendoza going one.
Essentially.
Through the Raiders.
Essentially. All right, so let's not. We don't really need to talk about that. Raiders need a QB. Simple as that. They need a QB desperately. They got Tyler Linbaum in the free agency for the second. They're working on their offense. They got Tyler Gentry back there. They got Brock Bowers.
Ashton Gentry.
Ashton Gentry. Who did I say? Am I already screwing it up?
Mixed up? Yeah, you mixed Ty Simpson with Ashton Gentry.
Did I say Ty? Did I say Ty Jensen? Jensen?
Yeah.
No, I
didn't hear you, honestly.
Okay, now you're screwing me up. You're taking me off kilter. Anyway, but they need a QB. It's very clear they stocked up on defense. Fernando Mendoza is definitely going to be the guy that they go for in round one. I don't think there's no brainer. Pretty much simple there. So let's head on to this second draft. We have the New York Jets for number 2 overall pick. The New York Jets have going. What do you guys got? Oh,
you guys want to go first?
I can go.
I know I got.
I'll give mine. I'll do mine first.
Okay.
For the number 2 overall pick in the 2026 draft, I have the Jets going with Reese. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Mock drafts have him there. He's a good linebacker. He's going to be out there he's going to be a part of the rush. I think that the Jets, obviously getting rid of some of their guys on defense, they needed someone that could also provide the rush. They need a top-tier talent to do that. I think that they're working on doing that already. They got the interior help already. I think for the exterior now, they want to go work on someone like him. There's a couple of other options I'm sure that are out there, but I think Reese is definitely the best pick by your your draft order, and I think that is going to go to the Jets here at number 2.
Yeah, I have the Jets also going. Well, I have the Jets going 2 options here, either Reese or David Bailey from Texas Tech, because like I said, like Pat said, the Jets need an edge rusher and a linebacker, but when you look at, and obviously from David Bailey, he is the most established edge. We haven't really seen much out of Avril Reese being able to rush. But I think with Glenn being the head coach there, he builds his defense perfectly because we saw it in Detroit. So I think he's looking for a guy like Avril Reese to take that position and develop him as an edge rusher to where we could see possibly his potential be fully unlocked with the Jets.
Yeah, I'm definitely in agreement with what Dan had said, and between the both guys. But I personally would love them to take David Bailey out of the Texas Tech. I'm all for Reese. Don't get me wrong, but like he said, I'm looking for that pass rush presence, right? Like McDonald kind of established himself on the edge a lot more, gaining weight, being able to get to the run. He's still a dominant pass rusher on that defensive front. And I think with the additions that they've been able to add in the offseason, they need a pure pass rusher. This guy put up 14.5 sacks last season. The Jets have never had someone that is just a pure, solely dominant pass rusher first. Avril Reese is a great linebacker. I don't think he gives you as much pass pressure presence, let alone with the pressures that Bailey gets to the quarterback on, like just not sacks alone, but pressures alone, which is another big stat for pass rushers. He gives you everything else. You know, he gives you more of the full package. And I'm all for that full package. But what I think they really need to hone in on is a pass rusher, like a pure pass rusher. Like, this guy's skill is going to be to just get to the quarterback. I think if you pair him up with McDonald on the other side and you utilize these depth role players that they got on the inside now, they have more than enough guys to stop that run, which is they've failed utterly at doing for many, 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 many moons now. But I feel like, you know, Bailey could be that next big name pass rusher that we talk about. You know, guys, I'm not going to compare him, sit here to say Parsons, like these amazing pass rushers, but the Jets need somebody like him that is just solely focused on getting after the quarterback and like setting that edge with a presence of pass pressure, you know, and letting the rest of the guys gel in the mix. So I'd like to personally see Bailey go. If Reese comes in too, I'm fine with that, but I want the sacks. I need a sack machine.
Okay. All right, so now let's move on to the number 3 pick here. We have the Arizona Cardinals at the 3rd overall pick. I personally, right now, for the Arizona Cardinals, I see them actually going exactly what you guys said here for the Jets, really. I have them in reverse. I think either way, one's going second, the other one's going third, regardless. But I think that the Arizona Cardinals are going with David Bailey personally. Just because, again, I feel like if the Jets for me are taking... If they're taking Alvarez in mock draft, then I have David Bailey going third to the Cardinals.
Even if the Cardinals don't trade Sweat?
Absolutely. I don't think they're trading Sweat. I think Sweat stays. I think they need someone over there that's going to be the other side of him. I think they're going to have someone with him that's going to... They were one of the worst pass rushing teams in the league. They definitely need someone like there to make noise, and he's a good sack machine, David Bailey. So I see him going there third overall. I don't really see nothing like that they would go for right now, other than what, a QB, and you're not taking Ty Simpson that high up. I'm according to some mock draft, maybe so, but not mine.
I have the Cardinals going. Yes, I think that they do need edge, but at the same time, I feel like you said, Pat, you're not going to take Ty Simpson at 3. I think that's way too high for him. I could possibly see him going 16 to the Jets, but I don't think so. I think the best pick here for the Cardinals to do is to work on the trenches on the offensive side and sign and draft Francis Manoa from Miami, because he is arguably the number 1 tackle in the draft. But what you're getting out of Maui Noah is you're getting his versatility, where if you don't feel like he could play tackle, you could slide him in at guard, and you're building the trenches for a potential quarterback to get there. So that's why I think the Cardinals are going to go Maui Noah at 3 and not an edge.
Okay.
Yeah, I pretty much am piggybacking off of what Pat says. If Reese don't go to the Jets at 2, Reese goes 3 to Arizona. They desperately need a name on defense. That defense was sitting right in front of the Jets last year. Pretty mediocre, no presence, no names, no production. I think either guy is an automatic upgrade to each of these defenses. I feel like more so for the Cardinals, is because the Jets do have some kind of star player material there. It just has to be utilized and functioned in right. But Arizona desperately is in need of as a remodeling on that defensive front. I don't think they're going to get anyone else better than Bailey or Reese. So I got them going with Reese to, at 3.
Agreed. Okay. Moving on to the number 4th pick here, we have the Tennessee Titans on the clock at the number 4 overall pick. And start off first. Should I go? Should I just keep the order going? I'll just go first. Sure. I'm going to go with Jeremiah Love here at the number 4 pick here for the Tennessee Titans. I feel like that's a lot of mock drafts that have this already. And I think it's true. Right now, you have an offense that's steadily building. We're slowly seeing like a nice put together offense out of the Tennessee Titans. You have 2 good coaches, 2 new coaches there. You have Brian Daboll for the offensive coordinator, and you have Robert Saleh over there for the head coach. They have a really nice dynamic. I feel like I'm underestimating, and I feel like it's going to come true together. But I feel like Jeremiah Love is what this offense is needing. The kick that's going to boost that passing game open for Cam Ward I feel like you have a guy that's basically like one of the best running backs in league's history in forever now. I feel like Jeremiah Love is definitely the pick here. He's the safest bet for them, and I feel like it opens up the trenches for the passing game in this upcoming season for them.
I see at my 4 pick, I see 2 options for Tennessee to go. Either Ruben Bain Jr. at edge for the defense or Jeremiah Love. But I think I think right here, what the Titans are going to do is go BPA, best player available. And I think they're going to go and draft Jeremiah Love. Because, like, to piggyback off what Pat said, he's a running back that can instantly provide production for that offense. He's not, I wouldn't say a tier like Saquon Barkley. I would more so put him in the same tier as the Bijan Robertson, those type of guys, where he has the full explosive speed that he can get up the middle and break away and also bounce off people. So that's why I have the Titans going Jeremiah Love here at 4.
Yeah, I'm going to agree as well with Jeremiah Love. I mean, if by any odd chance one of those defensive guys does not go in the first 3, it will not surprise me for Robert Saleh to go and grab one of them, just because I know him, we had him as a coach, and he knows how to build a defense, and he knows one of those guys would make an impact to that defense, but I don't see any of those guys being there after 3, between the 2 we just spoke about. So, yeah, I mean, they haven't had a viable running back. What? Derrick Henry played on Tennessee, correct?
Yep.
When he came out. And before that was Chris Johnson. Like, they haven't had a big name viable running back. This kid doesn't slide. After 5, makes total sense. He's bolstered up the offensive line. He's had a total reconstruction on that team. And I'm sure that he's taking them in the right direction. And what better way to continue that direction and to put a viable running back there that with a bolstered offensive line, with some key additions throughout a lot of additions this offseason Tennessee's been able to do. I think he's going to fit right into that mix, and they're going to utilize him. I see him being a starter instantly and producing instantly, and being a big part of that offense. So, yeah, Jeremiah Love definitely to Tennessee at 4.
Okay. Let's move on to my pick. We already know we have the number 5 team in the draft. Number 5 overall, New York Giants are on the clock. And for me, I have them going with linebacker Sonny Styles. I feel like the Giants desperately have been missing a defense. We already know that their offense is kind of configured. They have some pieces on there. At number 5, I don't think they're going to go with the wide receiver, even though I would like them to be honest. But I think, as Dan said,
go 5 ways
I
here.
think that Dan said that, BPA like earlier, I'm taking Sonny Styles at this pick just because it's as simple as they just really need a defense, and right now that's who I have them going with. I think the linebacker core has been missing greatly. They just got rid of Okereke. Yes, we did replace him, but I still feel like there is more room to be done on that defense to really make it shine. And I feel like Sonny Styles is definitely going to be one of the best picks at the draft, and definitely the best pick for the Giants, in my opinion, coming out to 5.
I think the Giants can go 5 ways here with either linebacker, wide receiver, safety, or cornerback. I feel like that's all positions of needs for the Giants. But like Pat said, I think they're going to go with the linebacker and select Sonny Styles at the 5th pick. I just feel like even though we have been in talks to get a wide receiver, like with the rumors that we were in talks to get Brian Thompson Jr. from the Jaguars, I feel like they're just going to go. John Harbaugh is going to want to beef up the defense. And I think what better way than to bring in an athletic, a good guy that can play the box. And all you would really have to do is develop his pass rush. But I think they're going to go with Sonny Styles here at 5.
Yeah, I don't think there's any bad thought about going with the Ohio State speedster right there, bro. Like, it's just all green flags go to that pick. I mean, you got Harbaugh. He knows what he's going to get out of this kid, Sonny. You did just get a middle linebacker. Why not continue to bolster and strengthen your core in the middle? He knows it's a weak part of their game, even with the addition of Edmonds, right?
Edmonds.
Yeah.
Edmonds. What better role model for this young kid to come in and play with or next to or behind Edmonds? A coverage linebacker in the league who has had success in his career, and this could be a great little 1-2 punch. Whether they're both playing on the field at the same time, gives him a lot of versatility on defense, bro. Saves Edmonds' body, if you're bouncing them in and out of each other. So a lot of upside if they go with him. Obviously, Dan said they do have some holes in the defense there, but Harbaugh is someone who played with a generational franchise linebacker in his day, being Ray Lewis. You may see if you're able to get that out of Sonny, and he's working with or behind Edmonds, and you got Edmonds for however long you do, and you see Sonny take the realms pretty much, take the reins, and you may see you got a generational franchise linebacker for the next 10 years there. So I think it's not a gamble whatsoever. It's a great addition to the defense. It's only going to help them. It's going to strengthen that core up. They can obviously shore up some more stuff on defense after the draft or through the draft. But yeah, I think Sonny definitely makes sense for the Giants at 5 to continue to strengthen the core of a weak middle of the defense.
All in agreement here from number 5 pick. Moving on to the number 6 pick here, we have the Cleveland Browns. And I think on the clock at number 6, the Cleveland Browns are going to select Carnell Tate, wide receiver. I personally believe that this team is in desperate need of finding an offense, especially with the amount of wide receiver, or with the amount of cornerbacks they've had over the last 2 decades. There's a lot that they need done, and I feel like right now, whether people want to believe it or not, whether people like him or not, I feel like they're going to move to Shedeur Sanders as their answer, even just for a little while, so we can see what he's got in the tank. But I feel like in order for him to be any good, you have to have the people around him. At the running back, they got wide receiver, they got. That's it. So we got here. I feel like they need to work on their offense, and desperately so. For me, if they're not going to go with an offensive tackle here, for me, it's Carnell Tate, easily their first pick here in the 6th pick for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, I have the Browns. I do think the Browns need to draft a tackle at a wide receiver here. Well, with their draft picks, so with their first draft pick, I have them going probably the best player available, and that would have to be wide receiver Carnell Tate. I feel like he instantly is going to slide into that first receiver role. Jerry Jeudy hasn't been performing to a number 1. You get a number 2 in if possible, but I see Carnell Tate being that number 1 guy, taking up and passing Jerry Jeudy, because Jerry Jeudy had a ton of drops this season. I feel like you need to have another wide receiver there to help Shedeur out for the time being until you draft another quarterback. So I think they're going to go Carnell Tate here.
Yeah, I'm going to go in a different direction here. I think they need to really address that offensive tackle position a lot more than the wide receiver position. I'm just sorry. 51 sacks. They got sacked 51 times last year. Okay. I don't even know if that was between all the quarterbacks or if it was just between one. It's gotta get addressed, bro. They had I think, what was it, Joe Thompson or something like that?
Thomas.
They had a phenomenal tackle on that team for a long time, and he's gone, and they've been getting sacked like crazy. Now, I'm sure they need a wide receiver, but I think you got a great pick in Freeling from Georgia, man. A little bit of a gamble on him, I think, because of the experience there, but I think he's going to give you the best protection. He's definitely going to knock that number down, and I feel like that's the biggest thing to be addressed. I don't know if they have another pick in the first round. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm sure that they can address.
They have the 24 pick.
Yeah, they can address that receiver at a later role. You ain't going to get another tackle with Freeling's. What they need is Freeling, you know what I mean? And I don't think they're going to get that in the late mid-20s, early 20s. So I think you go for him there, and you see what's left in the wide receiver pool. I'm sure they can work somebody in there and make that a focus or strengthen that wide receiver room. But that tackle position needs to be addressed. So Monroe Freeling at 6 for Cleveland.
All right, moving on to number 7 here. Then we have Washington Commanders on the clock. This was a harder one for me when I was choosing as to what I felt that they need, because this team is all over the place. I feel like they're another one that might need a wide receiver. I feel like they're also chasing the defense as well. They did have Chase Young back there at the edge rusher. I am going to take them to Ruben Bain Jr. at the number 7 position here for the edge rush. I feel like they also lack that right now. A lot of great running backs in the NFC East alone. And I feel like it's just only going to get better once the Cowboys figure out what the hell they're doing for their back. But I mean, overall, I feel like they need something out there that's really going to start terrorizing these quarterbacks. Because the NFC East is a bloodbath. Whether they're the best, the worst, or just in the middle, I feel like they need someone that's going to terrorize Jackson Dart, Jalen Hurts, and Dak Prescott, and what we do that than both your defensive end position. I feel that's the way they're going to end up going here. He's got a motor about him. He's had a great pro day that just came up, and I feel like that's who they're going to end up going for, in my opinion.
Vic, go first. I need a minute.
Washington Commanders at 7 to continue to bolster that wide receiver room. Go Carnell Tate from Ohio State, bro. You want to talk about a duo with McLaurin and him there that's going to totally change the complexity of that offense with a healthy Daniels there, right? Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
Give him a healthy season and give him another. They just lost Debo. You know what I mean? They come off a shaky season. He comes back in his 3rd season, acquired with McLaurin, and you give him Tate on the other side, and you get this offense really clicking. The defensive pick, obviously, they can use it, but for me, Tate's still on the board, and he doesn't get skipped by Washington, and you got a dynamic duo in the NFC East that can really contend with any defense in that NFC East, or probably be the best duo in that NFC East. I'm even challenging Lamb and Pickens on that. You know what I mean? We'll see, because we'll see what these two can do, man. You know it. You know, Cardell Tate comes out hot. McLaurin picks up, and we got some healthy QB play. You're talking about two pretty heavy throwing offenses, man, that with 4 explosive receivers in that division. I'm not knocking Neighbors. But, you know, the duo, there's a duo there. There's a duo to be had there, and I think it will work. I think it'll definitely work with Washington, so he doesn't go. He goes to Washington only.
You don't think that Neighbors and Darius Slayton are the best combo?
Not at all. That's all I didn't say. Now, if you had another name there, I could be like, this might be the duos of the league right here in that division, but you just don't. You just didn't go and get one of those, and you ain't getting one at 5. Unless you surprise everyone and take Tate at 5. But then Sonny's going somewhere. Sonny's probably going to Cleveland then or some shit.
I don't even want to think about that.
Oh, right. I cursed. It's all right.
No, but I'm going to agree with Pat here. Yes, I understand that the Commanders had brought in Owe and Chasins, but I feel like they want to beef up that defense, and I think they're going to go Ruben Bain Jr. with this pick. I feel like, yes, they need the help at receiver, but I'm going them drafting Bain at edge.
Bain sliding.
Yeah, you're supposed to go up early, but this is where I have him, man.
I had him slide, man. I'm having him slide.
I can't wait to see
where he comes out for me, but I have him sliding.
Well, we're going to move on to the next one here. We have at number 8 on the clock, we have the New Orleans Saints. This one, for me, I think is the best pick they can get right now. Unless somehow the other one slides, I feel like this pick that they're going to go for here, New Orleans are going to go ahead and grab wide receiver Jordan Tyson. I just feel like they're going to go and grab him to be on the other side of Olave. I feel like Tyler Show out there with Etienne Jr., what the run game, what better ways than what you just spoke about with the Washington Commanders, Vic, but to have that nice good duo. We're seeing a lot of duos come out, and what better 1-2 punch than Jordan Tyson and Olave out there in the NFC South, and that's a great offensive, that's a great offense right there. Tyler Show really showed what he could do. We already know what Etienne Jr. could do, but we already know what he can do, and then we also have. And then now you have Jordan Tyson with Olave. I feel like that's just dominant offense right there, and I want to see that happen. That's the pick I have him going here at number 8.
Wow. You're talking about Bane sliding. I had somebody that you guys said that slid all the way to this pick,
Oh, was that?
and I think the Saints desperately need this help, especially at their edge position. They've been looking for an edge for a long time, and I had David Bailey sliding all the way to the Saints, and I think they're gonna take
No
David
way
Bailey
he
with this
slides
pick.
that far down, bro.
That's
He
crazy.
does.
Didn't you already say him? I could have swore we already went over him.
Nope, you guys said him. I said Mawanawi for the Cardinals.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, I guess everyone's okay to be wrong.
Yeah,
every
him
once in a while.
I had him lower, but yeah, we'll get to that. But yeah. Wow. Sheesh, bro.
And David Bailey can instantly help that Saints defense out with the pass rush. I think he would just need help being in the box, but I think they're going to primarily send him in, and he's going to help the pass rush instantly for the Saints defense that desperately need the help.
Okay.
Yeah, I hear that. I just don't think he slides that low. I'm going same with agreement to Pat at Arizona State, Mr. Jordan Tyson. Like he said, you established the running back piece there. You might as well add another receiver. This young QB showed you that he can sit in there and he can play this game, and he had a rough season, and I think you got to go and help this kid. All right, help that offense. You want to build that defense, I'm sure too, but throw another wide receiver there after just getting such a good running back on that team. You're starting to really set these pieces on offense. I think you really want to strengthen that depth in the receiver room. Olave in the league a few years now, and they really need a number two there. A solid number two, and I think Tyson would be a great addition to that. It definitely takes some pressure off this QB. They got the running back. And having that 1-2, like Pat said with the duos, so I think that's definitely it makes the most sense to me for them to go in that direction, and just continue to build on that offense and help this young kid out, give him the weapons he needs, and see if this is really going to be your guy, going into year two, like with an extra weapon there at running back and another weapon at receiver. Even if the defense is a little light, you could see well, this kid can play if we put a team around him on offense. So yeah, Tyson goes 8.
Respectable. Now we have a team that we weren't expecting to slide to be this high up this year, but with a lot of complications, we have at number 9 on the clock, the Kansas City Chiefs. I feel, I've seen people say they want another wide receiver. I don't see why. I really don't know why you go wide receiver pick. But I'm curious if anyone here has him with a wide receiver. Then I'm really curious as to your reasoning. But for me, I have safety Caleb Downs going to the Kansas City Chiefs. They just traded theirs away. We have a whole opening in that backfield, and I feel like that's a position that easily gets filled by some guy that was destined to be what we're hearing, like a generational safety coming right out of college, and I feel like that's going to be the fit right for them. They need to bolster up that defense again. I feel like their offense is perfectly fine as long as everyone's healthy. Patrick Mahomes comes back okay, and we're all set. But I feel like that defense, they need to fill that hole. I feel like Caleb Downs is the guy. That's who they're going to end up going with, in my opinion.
Yeah, the Chiefs, man. The Chiefs, I don't understand why you need a wide receiver here, but to me,
Baffles
the
me.
most clear pick here is after all the cornerbacks that they lost in Trent McDuffie and Jalen Watson, that cornerback room on that Chiefs defense just got slimmed out completely. I think the Chiefs are going to go here with Mansour Delaney. I think he brings help to that cornerback room that needs desperate help after the losses that they had, especially with McDuffie and Watson leaving. You lose 2 of your primary D-backs back there, and you desperately need that help right now.
Okay.
Yeah, originally when I was looking at this, I did have Delaney going to them, but I mean both the DBs it's a grim room right now, and after that trade, I mean the safety room to me just looked more grim, and I think you're gonna get more out of a Caleb Downs. I don't know if it's just the name or the tape, but I got them going Downs as well. I just think that his name alone and his presence there will do enough. Maybe they can throw an additional DB help there in the rest of the draft. But yeah, I got Caleb going to the. I just don't see them letting him pass at 9 and having another team pick him up. He could have definitely went earlier with the circumstances of the draft and what team needs go. I think they can totally make use of him instantly, and I think he'll repair instantly what they just lost. So yeah, I got Downs going KC at 9.
All right. Good. We're now at the first double-digit team here, which is going to be at number 10. We have the Cincinnati Bengals picking up here. They are on the clock, and for me, I swear, if I don't see an offensive tackle or some sort of lineman coming out of this first round, if I am Joe Burrow, I'm demanding a trade. So for me right now, I have him taking. I don't want to butcher his last name. But I didn't get to hear his name all too well. I watched on him, but I honestly don't remember how to say his name. But I'm going with Francis Malgai. I know how to say his name. Dan, if you know how to say his name. Offensive tackle out of Miami. As soon as you get it done.
Francis.
Francis, what? You're still muted.
Sorry. I was on the phone. Sorry, Francis Maui Noah.
Maui Noah, that's how you say his name? Okay.
That too.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, so I have the Cincinnati Bengals going for Francis Maui Noah because just simply they need an offensive line. If they go anything but here, I don't care about the defense. I don't care if they had the worst whatever. I don't care. Get an offensive line for your top stars.
Wow,
you're paying all that money because they need an offensive line. Joe Burrow can't keep getting hurt, and you're wasting so much money on this offense for not to be protected. You stay in offense as your identity. Make it your identity by actually protecting that offense because it's just not happening right now. The guy gets sacked more than anything. He goes down every season, it feels now, and he's just getting hurt. The guy's going to retire early if this keeps happening to him. This is insane. We just seen it with Tua. Now we're going to see it again with Joe Burrow at this point. I just don't like it. They got to go offensive tackle or offensive guard, anything. Just offensive, any line there. Just pick the biggest guy you see and throw him on the line at this point.
Yeah, well, I have a feeling the both of you went offensive line here. I didn't. I went with them selecting BPA, and in my mock draft, the guy slid right into their hands, and I'm having them go in Caleb Downs. Getting back there, helping that safety room out, and it's just an instant help out for that defense with Caleb Downs. Safety out of the Ohio State.
Yeah, I didn't go offense either here. This is where my buddy Mr. Bain slid to number 10, to the worst defense in the NFL. Obviously, they do need some help on that offensive line, but I just think Joe Burrow is a soft quarterback. As far as his getting sacked in injuries, I mean, Tom Brady got sacked. I'm not comparing them, but Tom Brady was a frailer dude than him, and that guy was playing in almost all his games, and he got sacked a lot, and he got up and headbutted the guy's necks. He didn't lay over and roll over and let them walk over you. So, Joe, toughen up, put some weight on, boy. You ain't getting the help. They're going to go and replace the guy they just lost, Hendrickson, and they're going to put Bain in there to try and make an impact on that defense because that offense was atrocious, but the defense was worse. The offense is still able to put up 30 points a game with whoever the hell they had back there. Even Flacco was able to do it. But the defense is what lost them.
What was it? Browning, I think, was their quarterback?
Yeah, I don't know. They had multiple quarterbacks back there, but it wasn't the offense that lost them games. They still put up 30 points. It's the defense giving up 40, 50 points.
Agreed.
So whether it's a safety, I got Bain sliding to 10. I think he makes the impact and the transition that they need, losing Hendrickson and inserting himself, and at least trying to shore up whatever is going on over there. And obviously, he'll make a difference, I think, from the jump right out the gate. So yeah, I got Mr. Bain going at 10.
Okay. Move on to the 11th pick here in the draft. We have the Miami Dolphins on the clock. And for them, I think it's another case of, I think this is another team that just lost everything. They just lost everything. Everything is just gone. All right. But I like right now, you just got Willis, who's a great prospect as a QB coming straight from Green Bay. Already they're great at developing quarterbacks. I feel like this is one of those guys that we could see do something. They don't have a wide receiver room, but that's not what I'm going because you know what? They had wide receivers already. We've seen what that
Who's their
could do for
quarterback
them.
right now?
Willis from
Oh,
Green Bay, the
Willis.
backer from Green
Yes,
Bay.
yes, yes. Okay.
So they have him over there, but I have them going with an offensive line here. I feel like they're another one that needs an offensive lineman, and I feel like they're going to go with Monroe Freeling. I feel like that's another guy here that's going to come out and make a good immediate impact to this team. They desperately need it. I feel like when you're looking at Miami, right, they have A-Chain. It's the only weapon they really have now at this point. Yes, they need wide receivers badly because their wide receiver room is atrocious. But I don't feel like just drafting the best possible wide receiver here really fixes this team. You need to start slow. This is going to be a long and painful rebuild for them. I feel like you got to start at this offensive line for them. So I'm taking an offensive line. I'm going Monroe Freeling to go over there into Miami and be the starting tackle over there.
Yeah, my draft, I went a little crazy here. I went the
God.
Dolphins drafting Kenyon Sadiq out of Miami or out of Oregon, tight end. I feel like
Wow.
Sadiq, he's
That's not
a
as bad
tight
pick.
end, but I feel like Sadiq, if you don't want him to play tight end, he could slide into that slot receiver position and also be a tall wide receiver for you and give you options. And I feel like the Dolphins just need somebody to help out Willis for that right now. And I feel like Sadiq could be that option for them, sneaking in the top, outside the top 10. But with going a tight end, it's very hard to predict where they're going to go in the draft. But I feel like Sadiq's talent just fits Miami. So I went him going Miami.
It's good to know that we all got an offensive weapon going and helping out the good old Dolphins. Just mine's a little different. Mine's gonna be the Lemonhead out of USC. Makai Lemon.
No way.
Gets taken by the Dolphins. They desperately need it. As you just noted, they only have Achane as a weapon, and it's kind of grim over there. And you got a new quarterback coming in, and there's a lot of horrible things going on in Miami. Let's go Miami. But they need it. I mean, they just signed that receiver. What was it, Washington over there? You know what I mean? And he's not a top tier receiver. They need help in that room big time. It's pretty grim there. The guy's got no one to throw to. You can't run the ball. I mean, I think Achane could do a better job at running the ball than he can throw into only one guy with the O-line that they got right now. Granted, he stays healthy. So I think, Makai Lemon gets up in there, man, and he shows that he can be a changing factor in that wide receiver room, in a pretty grim wide receiver room with not many options to go to. This kid's got a good arm. He can get the ball down the field. Obviously, maybe he doesn't have the time to do that, but if he can get out of the pocket and let these playmakers make some plays, I think this is definitely going to be a playmaker that will make them some plays and will push the ball down the field and get them to sustain drives and at least have some excitement for those, those depressed Miami Dolphin fans, what they got to look forward to. I show you no sympathy. I'm a Jets fan, so you can shove it where the sun don't shine. But yeah, let Mr. Lemon at 11.
Yeah, somehow the Dolphins are in a worse position than the Jets, and I just don't understand that.
They slid so bad. So much stuff.
And they'll still get more wins than the Jets next season.
They'll find a way. They'll find a way. But yeah, they got no one.
This guy will have 50 passing touchdowns.
No
25 to 11.
New coaching, new everything. The whole offense, just the entire team changed all around. All right, but moving on to the number 12 pick here, we have the Dallas Cowboys. God, do I not want to talk about the Dallas Cowboys, but we got to. And I have them here going with defense because honestly, they've been the offense. The offense is something that they've always had, and I feel like they've always lacked the defensive side of the ball. They lack the deep ball, especially. It's so easy to throw deep over them. It's like it's guaranteeing fantasy that your wide receiver is going to hit against them. Right now, I have them go with a cornerback, and I'm going with Mansour Delaney out of LSU, and I feel like I got the cornerback over there. He's headed right to Dallas. I feel like he's going to make an impact there. Hopefully, not for me, but but in general, I feel like for Cowboys fans, if you're looking at this, they need a corner. I feel like that's just one of those guys that are going to come in day one and make an impact, make the roster, possibly their number 2, and really set the tone here for that defense to start off the next season.
Yeah, I'm in a similar predicament that like you, Pat. I have them going cornerback, and possibly if he wasn't injured last year with how good his tape was in 2024, he could be the number one cornerback off the big board. I have them going Jermon McCoy at cornerback. Jermon McCoy just gives them a very good position. Yes, I understand he had injury issues last year that didn't make him play last season, but I just have them. I just feel like he's going to fit that defense and instantly turn it into being a deep threat or preventing deep threats. So yeah, I have them selecting Jermon McCoy out of Tennessee.
Yeah, I guess we've all established that that DB room is pretty rancid.
Horrible.
Especially after last year, the big plays
And with
that
the
they gave
talent
up.
back there, it's kind of hard to believe how rancid that room is with
Yeah,
Bland and
yeah,
everybody.
and it definitely it needs improvement. No better person to go with. It was actually, I think they were more interested in the guy that you just named, Dan, but I don't see them passing up Delaney if he's on the board. He's going to be a starter instantly there. You're looking at a division, if it goes according to my draft too, that you're going to just have dynamic receivers in this division. It's just going to give you another addition on defense to try and slow these guys down. I think he's the better man corner out of both of them, I believe. So I think the only reason I didn't go, I think, was it McLeod
McCoy.
that
No,
you said, Dan?
yeah, McCoy. Jared
That Dan
McCoy.
said?
Jerome McCoy.
McCoy, I think he had an injury or something. That's why I think I shied away from him. Not taking away from his game whatsoever, but you never know with injuries too. They can reoccur, but any injuries can happen. But yeah, Delaney goes in there and definitely makes an improvement on the defensive backside. That's something that they definitely need to improve in 100% because they lost a lot of games last year to that DBs, from their DBs. You know what I mean? Just big plays, games that they could have come out and win, and they just didn't hold. And we all know you got to have defense to win. You can score as many points as you want, but when it comes down to the 2-minute warning and there's no time left on the clock and your defense is out there, you want reliable guys that are going to shut the ball down. They're going to make plays. They're going to get passes defensed, and they definitely need it. So yeah, Delaney goes to the Cowboys.
Okay. We have at number 13 on the clock, we have the Los Angeles Rams. They made it all the way to the NFC conference, championship, but they have number 13 pick from the Atlanta Falcons. And yeah, right now, this is a hard pick because I really don't know. Like, when I'm looking at the team, this is the team I think I observed the most because this early on, what do you really need? Like, they have a lot of things
really don't need
they have a
anything.
lot of things that they just like already that they're not looking for. So I have two possibilities, but we're the rules for this podcast is we have to make a pick for this. But I do have them potentially trading back on draft day for more capital for next season. Not even for this season, just something for next season. I don't really feel like they need someone in desperate need this early. If anything, back to like late first, I really just don't know if I see that right now. But I have them going with actually the guys you mentioned. I'm going with Jared McCoy. And that the reason being is because I feel like there's a lot less pressure if they were to make a pick. There's a lot less pressure to do good coming off of an injury. They already know that they're good at basically all positions. And I feel like having him up there. What else are you gonna pick? And for me, I go with the cornerback because you could bolster your defense a little bit. Whether he plays at your second or your third, I feel like it's not bad to have him come in, get some experience into the NFL before they start going into finding a QB, which I think they'll do next year because we don't know how long Stafford's going to stay for. We really don't. He is coming back this year, which is good for them, but we don't know how long he's staying for. They're going to get him to go for a quarterback. And I think it's going to be the year they go and look for one. So this year, though, I have them going with the cornerback, or if not, they're trading back. In my
With this pick, I'm going to echo what you said, Pat. When you look at the Rams, they really don't need much. I know people are saying they should go tackle here, but the tackles that they had last year were good enough and can only improve for them. I don't see them going tackle. The only room where I see them needing a little help is wide receiver, because how long is Devontae Adams going to be in the league for? You don't know. He might be there he's there next year, but what happens in 2027? Is he still going to be there? Is he going to retire? I'm going to have the Rams going Jordan Tyson here. Arguably the number one receiver in the draft, but because of all the injuries he had, probably his values is why he's sliding so far down. But I have them going Jordan Tyson, giving Tyson time to heal up from the injuries that he had. And I just think he's a perfect fit for the Rams for when Devontae Adams arguably retires.
Yeah, the Rams are definitely a pretty complete team, and I think they're literally just one step away. I don't even think it's a position upgrade. It's just a matter of just execution. I did take a tackle for them because their tackles did play good, but when you need depth, where else? What better place to have it than on the offensive line with Marigoe? What was his name? Mawanoe? Mawanoa, Francis, big boy from Miami. Just gonna help on pass protection. You know what I mean? However you can utilize him there. Never hurts to have the extra depth at the position, especially, you know, if this is Stafford's last year. You get late into the season, you know, the wear and tear starts to kick in. Never a bad thing to have a fresh set of legs and a you know, a star caliber tackle right there that can just jump in with these guys and preserve you know, some of that mid to late season fatigue. You know, I think it'd be a great fit there. You know, yeah, obviously they probably could use a wide receiver or they could go quarterback, but I think they're in that win now mentality. And if we're talking, you know, if we see another season like that, it's pretty much a game of attrition and fatigue, you know. And I think, you know, offensive tackle does not hurt. It only helps you, you know, because we all know offensive linemen go down by the play. You know, the tackles might have played great last year, but it could come down to an Aaron Rodgers kind of injury. 3 plays in, you lose your tackle the whole season. Next man up, you know you got a viable tackle to carry you through the rest of the season. Because if you're out one of those guys and you're getting sacked 50 times like Cleveland over here, I don't think you're coming up with the amount of wins and the production that they did last season. So I got them going tackle at 13.
Not bad. We're going to move on to the number 14 pick here. Number 14, we on the clock, the Baltimore Ravens. This pick is another one that I feel like there actually are a couple of positions that I could see open for them, but the number one I think pressing matter is the fact that they just tightened the bomb, and I feel like in order to replace him, you're going to need another lineman out there, and I think there is a very versatile lineman that could play the tackle, could play the guard, or people
Me
are
and
even
Pat
saying
have the
he could
same
go
guy
center.
in mind here.
But I think they end up going with Spencer. I think Spencer Fano here comes out and he makes a
Fanu.
difference right away. Oh, sorry, my bad. Fanu, I feel like they go with Fanu, and that's the guy that they're going to end up going with here. I think that's just where they need to go. I mean, they need an offensive line. Yeah, they need wide receivers. Again, another team that I feel like has no number one wide receivers. Get out of here with that Zay Flowers stuff. I'm sorry. Not a true number one wide receiver. I'll be bold about it. I don't care. Just not. I think they need offensive weapons, and they just lost Isaiah Likely, but you need a line to keep protecting your main star, which is Lamar Jackson. So offensive line is where I'm going with them. Spencer Fanu will definitely be the guy for me.
This is where, if I didn't take Shaquille off my board, this is where I could see Sadiq landing. Because, like you said, Pat, the Ravens did lose Likely, and I feel like Sadiq could be the likely replacement for them. But like also what you said, Pat, the Ravens lost Lindenbaum, and you need help on that offensive line. And I feel like having the most versatile lineman in the draft this year with Spencer Fanu, I feel like they're going to take him. If you don't want to play him at guard tackle, you could slide him in at guard, and he could instantly upgrade that offensive line to give help to Lamar Jackson over there. That's why I have them going Spencer Fanu.
Yeah, same here. And same reasons, you know, same guy, same reasons, the versatility. They need the help there. You can plug him in anywhere, especially after losing Linderbaum. So you can put him in the middle, put him on the guard, put him on a tackle. He's going to play good everywhere you put him. It's depth, and you can't go wrong with that. They need it, and his versatility is very hard to find in linemen. You know what I mean? The fact that he can play multiple positions on the inside and the outside at a high level. and give you the production that he can give you on the in and out. So it's a no-brainer, I feel like, for Baltimore. If he's up there, you take him. He's only a help.
Okay. Number 15 here we have on the clock, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This one I was kind of torn on because I feel like they have a good offensive line. They feel like they're missing wide receivers, but I don't know many that are going to make the jump, and I don't have them taking who I think is going like directly after them. But I mean, I don't think he goes there. But at number 15, I have him taking Akeem Messidor at the edge.
Mesidor.
At Messidor, right? I think that's correct. But edge rush out of Miami, I feel like they end up going with them. I feel like they did increase their pass rushing ability over the course of last season, but I feel like it's just not enough right now. I feel like they're going to start working on the defense a little bit more. They did lose offensive players like Mike Evans. That's I feel like Mbuka is going to really come in and shine this season, now being basically like your number one wide receiver in a sense, or even your number two. And so I don't think they're worried that much about it. So I'm going to go ahead and take defense and start working on that, as I feel like your offense is pretty damn good right now, and I'm not worried about it, despite the fall off that they had over the course of this season.
Pat, me and you having the same picks twice in a row here.
I know.
I feel like the Bucks really need the help on the edge, especially with Todd Bortles almost on his way out. He likes the edge guys, and I feel like Akeem Mesidor, he's not 22. Yeah, he's the oldest player coming out of this draft. Yes, he's 25, but I feel like him playing on the edge, you're getting an instant help with pass rushing. You're getting somebody that could help out that defense and apply pressure. I feel like Akeem Mesidor here is just a perfect pick for them.
Yeah, I'm going to go on the offensive side here and give me that boy. Give me that tight end, boy. Kenyon goes to Tampa, bro. You lose Mike Evans. They got a new OC in Zach Robinson, who is a fan of a double tight end personnel that he ran with Atlanta. Him and what is it, Otten? Who's that tight end? Who's that tight end?
I'm trying to look right
Kate
now.
Otten, isn't it?
Allen Iverson?
Tight end.
Kate
Yep,
Otten?
Otten.
Yeah. Dog tight end. Give Baker another one. This OC likes that double tight end personnel. Mix it up in there. Yeah, they can definitely use a piece on defense, but I think you lost Mike Evans there. I'm not saying it's an instant replacement, but it's definitely you're getting a little bit of a blocker and a tight end. You're getting an extra tight end, and if this guy likes to play that double tight end and it works well. I've seen teams use that. The Patriots used to use it when they had two top tight ends in the league, and it worked beautifully when it was Hernandez and Gronk. You know what I mean? That was pretty dangerous, and I haven't seen much of two double tight end personnel come out because it calls for two very talented individuals to combine together to do some dangerous stuff in a game. And I feel like these two guys can definitely replicate something similar to that, And Kate Otten is a dog. He's a dog. Whoever had him on fantasy last year, they know that. So, I definitely got them going tight end. I think he's an instant help for Baker, after a struggling offensive season. Yeah, wasn't expecting that. I had him on fantasy. I got him going tight end at 15.
All right, number 16, we have the New York Jets back up again with their pick from the Indianapolis Colts out of this year. So we have number 16 for the New York Jets. They're on the clock. And for me, I have them taking kicker Nick Folk right out of the 7th round draft.
Yeah, okay. The hell out of here. You see the deal they gave that guy too? Unbelievable. How?
The number 16 pick here for the New York Jets. I have them honestly going. I've been saying this all season long. I've been saying this for so long, and I'm tired of them, going with this whole outdated narrative about the whole defense thing. Defenses are great and they win, but if you don't have an offense at all, you're just not going to make it. And they have one wide receiver. They've had one wide receiver for years here. This is ridiculous that we're still talking about this in 2026. There's no reason for it. So with Smith there, at the offensive position for quarterback, I have him getting a second help to help Garrett Wilson, Makai Lemon. Because for God's sakes, I am so sick. I am so sick and tired of this team not having anyone to throw to. No one to throw to. No, see, a Jet pick is a defensive guy at this position right now. They're going to pick the best possible defense.
No.
He's going to be great, and they're not going to do
No,
nothing with it. They're not
I
gonna do
agree with
anything
Pat
with it.
here.
They're not going to do anything with it because you know why? Because the big trouble they have had has never been the cornerback. It's never the safety. It's never the linebacker. It's never the
quarterback.
It's always the quarterback. It's yeah, sure, that's great. But why not try out maybe building around the quarterback first? Go ahead. You have more first-round picks next year. There's a very deep wide receiver draft. Let's just go ahead and get him. Why go for Tyson here? No. Makai Lemon, 16 for New York Jets. That's who I got for him.
Well, me and Pat, I could have went two ways here with either Amari Cooper Jr. going here, but the way I had my draft and the way my draft fell, I'm going the Jets drafting Makai Lemon here with this overall pick, with the 16th overall pick. I feel like, just like Pat said, you're pairing Makai Lemon up with Garrett Wilson. You're giving Geno Smith some help. And hey, maybe me and Pat, our expectations for the Jets are high, but the amount of talent you have on this Jets defense, and you bring in Geno, maybe this is a change of scenery for Geno after the awful year he had in Oakland, or not Oakland, in Las Vegas with the Raiders. You have a competent O-line over there to protect Geno. Maybe Geno comes to form again and you see a Geno from 2024, and giving Geno a Makai Lemon is going to help that out. And maybe the Jets are going to jet again, and we'll see the same thing happens to where the Jets just go 2-2 or something, or not even get a win next year. But the Jets always find a way to do something like that, and the Jets will jet. But hey, I feel like the expectations are a little high, and I can see the Jets winning maybe 7 games next year, if not more. But give them more help on offense.
Let's hear it, Beck.
All right, well, first of all,
let's hear it.
Geno's already coming into a better situation than over there in the Raiders, okay? So he should have a better season than he did with them. Just throwing that out there. Way better offensive line than they got. Mm-hmm. But I am going to go with foundation right here. Offensive line. Let's go. Give me Olavega Ione, the guard out of Penn State. Pure guard, no sacks given up last season. You just lost Vera Tucker and Simpson. You're lacking in the interior part of the offensive line. Bolster it like we used to have with the Brickashaw, Woody, and Mangold. I don't care if the Jets don't do nothing this year because Geno's there temporarily. Now, if we go and get a franchise quarterback next draft, you got an offensive line, a unit. You got a unit like we used to have, and it don't take much of a QB when you got a unit like that. Give me the pure guard. Give me the guy that doesn't give up any sacks, and give me that beast. I'm going with it. Offensive guard. Fill the position. Fill the hole. Strengthen the trenches, my boys. Don't go and grab a receiver. Don't go and get Simpson. Don't disappoint me. Every Jet fan will hate me because let's go what works. What worked? When we had a dominant offensive line, we was winning games. We was positive. We was going to AFC championships with Mark Sanchez and Burris and Holmes, okay? Those are not number 1 or 2 wide receivers. You still had one. Burris was a has-been, okay?
Dan, don't instigate. We'll be here for another 30 minutes.
Mark Sanchez also had the butt fumble.
Oh, he had the butt fumble.
That's
Cool.
Yeah,
that's what everyone remembers. But you know what? That's the last time any Jets, we had success. We was making playoff runs. We was beating Peyton Manning and Tom Brady in the playoffs, okay? Yeah, he was butt fumbling on those legends, right? He was butt fumbling on those legends. But what did we have that we had never had? Was a unit in the trenches, man. We didn't have much. We had some weak running back play and some old has-been receivers.
Well, you know
Come
what?
on now.
You know what's great?
Give me that offensive line.
What you just said is we had something we never had, which was unity. I say now we with Jets, we do something we've never had. Wide receiver duos. God, I'm so sick of it. They have a good
don't
offensive
need
line.
it.
I'm not fighting. I'm
You
not.
can get it next year with your quarterback.
We'll do this.
Gino ain't going to take us to the playoffs with Makai Lemon and Garrett. Give me the guard and strengthen that up, boy. Bolster it. Bolster it. No sacks. No excuses.
This is automatically a topic next week.
Let's go. Brees needs the beast in the middle.
It's automatically a topic next season. I'm just letting you know that right now.
That's a clip.
Number 7.
You got one at least.
We got a couple of this one.
Where my Jet fans at?
We gotta edit that. We gotta edit him saying that out. That way it's not.
What's this? What's this? We gotta edit. Anyway, number 17. We have on the clock. We have the Detroit Lions.
The upsets.
I just don't understand where they went wrong here, but I'm going to automatically I'm throwing them on offensive line here because you know what? I feel like they were doing good when they had unity in the trenches, so I'm going to go ahead and give them Caden Proctor over there and be the guy there for them. I just feel like they need an offensive line. You already have the back. You have the wide receivers. No one on offense that you need. Your defense is pretty killer. I feel like you need someone else on the offensive line to kind of help out a little bit more because it's just not it for me right now. I feel like you need a bolster that. That is something that you do desperately need. So I'm giving them Caden Proctor as their guy here.
Yeah, you guys mentioned him earlier, but the way I had my mock draft, arguably the number 1 pure left tackle in this draft slid right into their hands, and the Lions need a left tackle. I have the Lions drafting Monroe Freeling here at 17. Do I think Monroe Freeling could draft high, possibly go higher in this draft? Absolutely, but if he slides to them, that's the perfect option, and they're going to have to take it because they need the help on that O-line.
The only reason he slides this low is because of his experience. But if he does, that's such a big pickup.
Yeah, that's a huge pickup for the Lions.
Pickup, bro. He slides 17. But, yeah, I'm going to... tackle has to be addressed. He's gone for me, so obviously Proctor's up there. The Alabama man, good tackle. On the pass rush, they picked up Larry Broom or something. They got some depth there in the offseason. And I think they got to continue to put the depth there. It's only going to help the rush game. They lost one of their running backs, correct? They only got Gibbs there now. I don't know if they picked up anyone else behind him. But, it's going to help. It's going to help just clean up some of the sacks that they gave up, help the rush game out. It's just going to be an addition that they need. They definitely didn't come out like I thought they were last year. It was a rough, shaky start, and then a mid-season tear, and then an end-season kind of like shakiness. So I think they got to tighten up that offensive line room and get a tackle in there that's going to help both parts of the game.
Okay. Number 18, we have the Minnesota Vikings are on the clock. This one straight up, like I feel like I was struggling with the defensive pick here for them, and I saw a lot of the mock drafts, and I think I am going to go ahead and agree with them after looking at their roster. Straight up, I just think that they need defensive help right now. Their offense, yeah, they need a quarterback, or at least we think we need a quarterback. We're not sure. I don't know what's going on with JJ, but sorry, 9. I don't know what's going on with them. So I'm just not even going to touch that position right now until they figure out what they're doing. But I feel right now the defensive help is desperately. They had came back on offense, but I feel like on defense they struggled in certain areas, and I feel like they're going to end up going with safety. They're going to go with Dylan Thieneman. I don't know how to say his name, out of Oregon. Thieneman. I know it's close. But yeah, I think they're going to go with that. I feel like they just need the defensive help. They're one of those teams that are very offensive heavy, but just don't have the other side of the ball yet. I feel like as to where the rest of their division really does. So I feel like that's what's going to end up going here. I think they're going to end up going with the safety here in the first round.
Yeah, this is the Minnesota Vikings fall into a BPA here, or they could be a trade back option here. But I feel like if with Harrison Smith not being their back at safety anymore, you don't have no reliable safety help. That safety room is.
What happened? What happened to him? He got hurt?
No, I think they released him.
So who was it? Sorry, who?
No,
Harrison Smith.
Did they release him?
I don't think he's there anymore. Yeah.
Did we post that anywhere? We should have it in our If not, but whatever.
I don't know.
Continue with it. We'll come back to it later. We'll revisit it.
All right.
But yeah, I'm having them go Dylan Cinnamon here at the safety, out of Oregon. It's just a plug and play right there for them.
Yep, same player, same reasoning. I didn't know they released him. If they released him, it just refortifies my verdict on why they should go with him. My thing was they need the help there. Smith's 37 years old anyway, on his way out or clearly gone already. You know what I mean? His best years are behind him. Dominant safety in the league, for Minnesota, but it's if he's gone already, it's time to try and replace those shoes, because those are some pretty big shoes. He's played as a safety there, if not his whole career, pretty much most of his career. And his name has been a presence and his play has been a presence, and it's just like Dan said, easy plug in and play right there. Replacement.
Okay. Well, at number 19 here, next up on the clock, we have the Carolina Panthers. And I think you guys both went with them already, but I think this is where the tight end falls back. I think this is where it goes. I feel like their offense has been something that I was actually really shocked and happy to see this season. They surprised the hell out of me. And I'm happy that I got to see what I saw. Even though Dowdle is gone, which I just don't understand.
Dowdle, I'll see you next season.
I don't understand the choice in decisions here. But okay, sure, fine. But I feel like they're going to need offensive help again. And I feel like Bryce Young had a great passing game last season. Or not great, but he had a good passing season. And I feel like what other way to help him, this young guy who started really to break out this season, let's bolster him up. Let's give him another weapon to throw to. And I feel like a tight end right now is going to be something they could absolutely go with that wouldn't sacrifice a lot of stuff, that would really just not fortify, but just really establish a position that they desperately need on that offense. So I really like him there. So I'm taking with Sadiq at the number 19 here for the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, I have the Panthers going defense here because they do need defense interior help on that defense. So I have the Panthers going Caden McDonald here with the 19th overall pick. I feel like it's very hard to project where these interior linemen are going to go because of how inconsistent and the injury history some of these linebackers have. But I feel like Caden McDonald can just slide right in there and help them out instantly with pass rush and run protect or run stopping too.
Yeah, I'm going defense with Carolina too, and I'm not taking nothing away from their DBs whatsoever because they played phenomenal football last year. But I'm just gonna strengthen something that's already strong and just add some depth to it and put Jermod McCoy there, and totally just like solidify that DB room. I mean, their DBs were nasty last year. I mean, if you go look at all of them, those guys were turning that ball over. They were all over. In that back, it was pretty nice to watch. Like it just to see them, the way that they hawk the ball, the way they get on these defenders. I'm sure they can use additions at the tight end and there, but like if I'm that coach, man, like I'm just like I know I got one of the best DB rooms in the league when it comes to turning the ball over and just playing tight defense, and and they really got it together too at the second half of and late season as well, really giving these teams a hard time and keeping themselves in games, and it's a lot of credit to those DBs. So I just continue to bolster on that, continue to strengthen that unit there, give them an extra guy, in case an injury arises, someone you can plug in and he can get the job done.
Okay, so at number 20 here on the clock, we have the Dallas Cowboys, who's gotten their pick here from the Green Bay Packers in their trade earlier, before the season started. And I feel like this team is going to go with, once again, they're going to go defense. They're going defense twice. This is the only team I will permit to go defense with 2 picks there this season because I feel like they need it desperately. They have the offense already established. They need a defense to take that next step, and I feel like right now they're going to go with this kid right out of Georgia, C.J. Allen. I feel like he's going to be the that comes in. They're going to on the blitz. They're going to use him to stop the run. I feel like he had 97 tackles in the season last season. I feel like he's just going to come in, and really provides something to this team to where it just makes it more, it makes sense. So yeah, I'm all for him. I feel like that's the pick they go with, the linebacker right out of Georgia.
Yeah, I have the Cowboys going defense twice here too, but I don't have them going linebacker here. I have them going edge with Keldrick Falk. I could see them going either Keldrick Falk or TJ Parker here, but I'm going to give them Keldrick Falk, who could help them instantly with stopping the run. His pass rush needs a little bit of help, but he can get in there and also apply sacks like he did in 2023 for Orban. But I feel like he's going to apply help, and he's not going to be a Marka Parsons type player, but at least you're getting somebody that you can develop into being a potential threat on defense on the edge. And I just think Keldrick Falk could fit that mold for them perfectly.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with what you said, Pat. Mr. Allen there in Georgia, man. You know, solid tackler, solid coverage guy, solid at blitzing. You know, all around. This game's pretty sharp all around. You know, they've done a good job of putting some interior pieces last season with Pickens and Williams there. I think they could use a little bit of help. If McCoy, if I didn't have him going to Carolina, I would have had them double up on DBs, honestly, because they really need it, or even a safety that I would have seen that was viable up there at the time in the mock. But yeah, I don't think Allen hurts them whatsoever, and even Dan's scope on it, you know, like bolstering up that front is always a strength, you know, to continue to bring that in. But yeah, CJ Allen, you know, it's a solid linebacker play you're going to get out of him, you know, in all aspects of the game. He's only going to make production more accessible to the defense, you know.
All right. Number 21, we have on the clock the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think I have one that's going to throw kind of a loop here. I feel I haven't seen anyone talk about them in the mock draft for him this season. And I just, you know what? I if I'm the Steelers, I know that you guys almost made the playoff this year, but I feel like even if you made the push to make the playoff this year, I just don't know if you're making the Super Bowl. Granted, they could play really well and prove me wrong here, but Aaron Rodgers is very old. We don't know if he's returning next season. We do not know what the fate of his next season, not this season, but like the one coming up after that. I have them going with Simpson. I think they're gonna go with him. I think they're gonna end up taking Ty Simpson at quarterback for their to mold him behind Rodgers for at least one season. I don't think that's a bad choice here. They get a veteran presence in front of this young kid to mold them, hopefully turn them into something good, even if for a year. To watch someone like Rodgers, it might do them so good. And I feel like the Steelers need to start looking towards the future. I don't feel like that window is there. That window for me is just not. It's not open. Like I don't. You're a Steelers fan. Are you excited this season? Are you looking into the season going, yeah, Super Bowl or bust? Like I don't know. Like you know, right now you're like hoping that you kind of just make it, sneak in maybe, and then do something. But right now, I'm not looking at them as the favorite in their division, their conference, or whatnot. It's nothing against the Steelers. I've always loved their rivalry against the Baltimore growing up, and for me, I think they're great. But I think that you know we're going to see a more offensive-minded coach coming in, and I think now is the perfect time to start out by getting yourself a quarterback. Everyone's pretty high on him recently, so the fact that he's sliding down the slope might be a surprise, but I feel like the Steelers could use someone back there to train right behind Rodgers. Open up the window again. Don't try to force this one open with sticks. It's just not going to work. Start working on your next window. I feel like Ty Simpson is a good pick here from.
Yeah, I also have the Steelers going offense here, but I don't have them going Ty Simpson. Can I see them possibly going Ty Simpson's here? Absolutely, but I feel like they desperately need the help on the O-line. They really don't have an O-line, and I feel like if the best guard is available, well, he is in my draft. If the best guard is available, I'm going Vega Iona out of Penn State and sliding him right into that guard spot in
the Jets get that guy
in Steelers in Pittsburgh. not leaving the
That'd
state.
be a great upgrade for them. Heavily needed.
Go,
Staying
because
on
I
the
think he's
phone,
on the
dude?
phone. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna piggy you, Pat. Tie all the way. I mean, my notes are very simple. Rogers is old as bleep, but I mean, what better guy to get him behind there for a season if he's there for a season? He's gonna be a Pittsburgher. Um, they've had some not success plugging and playing in guys at that QB room between Wilson and Pickett, like guys they brought in and young guys that they drafted. There's a lot of buzz going on about him. Hopefully he doesn't acquire the ego that Rodgers has just after one season. But he could definitely learn a lot from Rodgers sitting behind him for a season. And who knows if Rodgers will even get through a full season. At least you know you got a name there that slid to 21 and it could possibly get plugged in and you could see what he's got. You know what I mean? Or if you want to make that change as a head coach because Rodgers' play isn't up to par, and it's a future pick. You never know. You never know. He could play sometime this year. He could play next year. You see what he's got. I think they need to at least address that because Rodgers is old. Let's just there's just no beating around it. I don't think he's got another season in him. Granted, they went to the playoffs. It was a pretty mediocre game that he played, and it was a pretty mediocre fashion that they got to the playoffs in. But yeah, tie at 21. Tie to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I thought I was going to be the only one with that kind of pick. I was like, I thought I was
No, I had it too.
That's crazy. All right.
Yep.
Hey, great minds. At the number, the Los Angeles Chargers. Fresh new coaching system here that they got. For me, I'm taking exactly from the last one. I'm going with Ione here at the guard. I feel like they're going with him there to bolster up. I feel like right now they need to work on this offense. Not work on it, but I feel like you have such a good offensive talent around you. You're gonna need to make sure this guy is protected. You're gonna need to make sure that everything's clicking. You have Mike McDaniels there now. I say go full bore and just bolster up the offense even more. They already had a top defense in the league last season. I'm not worried about them with the defensive ability that they have that I've seen some people have, but I just feel like, unity in the trenches is really what gets you to, beat some legends. So I feel like that's the way they need to go. That's where I want them to go with the guard.
Yeah, no, I can see him dropping to the Chargers, but at the same time, it's like in previous mock drafts, or in other mock drafts that I've seen Blake Miller going to the Steelers. But why are you moving the left tackle for him to play? It's very, if the guard's available for the Steelers, I feel like they're going to select him. But my pick for the Chargers, I'm going to have the Chargers selecting TJ Parker out of Clemson on the edge. I feel like they need the help on the edge on defense, the Chargers, and I feel like he's going to perfectly fit into that defense and help out there.
Yeah, I'm going defensive too. I'm going out of Clemson also, but I'm going Peter Woods, a defensive tackle, strengthen up on the interior. They were a top defense, man, but they were so inconsistent in some games. Like if you just watch their games, like they look like the best defense some games or like a top defense some games, and then they just look like they didn't know what the hell they were doing. You know what I mean? So, I mean, anyone on the defensive front, I think is a solid pickup. I don't think you can go wrong. I feel like the interior men always go down the most frequent anyway. They're the most violent positions in the game, in the trenches, as we say, but on defense, Patty boy. But yeah, I don't think they can go wrong. Picking up another big dude, putting him in the middle, helping them shore up that run, and just really just helping the defense stay locked in, stay top tier, and maybe bringing some consistency, a little bit more consistency on that defensive front, because you've seen them in some games. They really just they could have been top defense one week, and then the other week you're like, I don't know what I'm just in the defense I watched last week.
Okay. We are going to move on to number 23. Philadelphia Eagles are on the clock, and I have them going with the defensive end. I'm going to take Zion Young here from Missouri. I feel like they lost a lot of defensive pieces this offseason. There was a lot. They also gained Cleveland. They got Tyreek Woolen over there, but I think is great. But I feel like I just feel like that front seven is kind of missing out on some people that they lost to being out there at the linebacker position. That talks about I think they lost Jordan Davis too, if I'm not mistaken. They just re-signed him. But there's talks about them losing a lot of other guys too. I just feel like this is a good way to go. Get someone that can kind of play the behind. I don't feel they need a glaring issue that's gonna really help them. So I just think you got to go best possible at this point, late in the draft, late in the first and whatnot. And Vic disagrees with me. Clearly, he's vocalizing it to his.
It's the cat, man. It's cat. Cat don't stop, bro. 3:00 in the morning. All right.
But yeah, I'm going with defensive end here. Damn.
All right.
Yeah, the Eagles. Unfortunate that they had the season that they did last year, but I don't think they really need the help on defense right now. I feel like you got to prepare for the future of that O-line because you're losing Lane Johnson. How much longer is he going to be there? And I feel like the perfect replacement for you is going to be Caden Proctor to select a tackle over here. I feel like the Eagles really need the help to boost up that O-line for the future. And with the uncertainty of how much longer Lane Johnson is going to play, I feel like he could just slide in and fit that role for the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm going to go offensive tackle as well for the Eagles. I don't know if I'm going to butcher his name right now. Max Ianker out of Arizona State.
Yeah.
I think I said his name right. Yeah.
No, you said his name wrong. I don't know how to really pronounce it.
All right, well,
so
anyone in the comments, I'm sorry for butchering his name. If you know how to pronounce it, send us a voice message in the comments because I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to call him Maxi Boy. Maxi Boy out of Arizona State. Yeah, like Dan just said, man, Lane Johnson, on his way out, possibly someone that you can groom behind him for a future tackle possibility. You know what I mean? They did just acquire a wide receiver too. I think they just picked up Elijah Moore, ex-Jet. Hope you have some success there. That was today, I believe. I don't know if anyone put that up there, but didn't have him taking any weapons, obviously, other than a tackle. Like I say, I don't think you can ever go wrong if you're going to strengthen or think to the future on your offensive line. Those guys are your bread and butter, especially a tackle. Like, let's not go back to Theismann now. We know how important a tackle position is. And obviously, if Proctor's up there and Detroit don't take him, that'd be the guy I would take over this guy, clearly. But Proctor for me is not up there. So yeah, I'm going with Maxi Boy. Get him in there, and possibly you got yourself a future tackle there. And at least he learns behind Mr. Lane.
Okay, so we're going to move on to pick number 24, which is the Cleveland Browns with their trade from the Jacksonville Jaguars. They are the number 24 pick here. And for me, I have actually Maxi Boy going down to them. That's where I have him going here. I feel like, again, another... I'm going to stop saying I feel like because I'm getting sick hearing it now. I feel like we said it a lot in the last couple of minutes here, so I'm sick of it. So I just think that Maxi Boy here is going to be a good offensive lineman for them. They definitely need to keep bolstering that offense. Yeah, they need a lot of help on defense, but I'm looking at best possible at this case. Late first round. I don't really know how many big stars are coming out of this area that's going to make an impact on defense they could utilize that isn't a front seven guy, which they already seem to do good at, especially when you have the all-time sack leading record guy in there at Myles Garrett. So I just say bolster the offense right now, unless you're able to get some guys in the backfield all the way over in the cornerback positions and whatnot. But right now, I think they got to go with the offensive line. Just keep trying to bolster it up and get a little stronger as you go on and work on it, because you got years out for you're even ready. So that's where I got him. I think Maxi Boy goes over there for him. I'm gonna go lay down as part of Vic's destruction, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get a podcast out.
Wait, you're on the Browns. We're on the Browns, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I have the Browns going Clabe Lamau at offensive tackle. I feel like his value has been growing after the performance he had in the combine, and I just think it's a plug and play left tackle for them back over there in Cleveland. that's somebody they needed, and I already had them draft a receiver, and they obviously need a tackle in this draft. So I think they're going to go with best available tackle there, and I think it's going to be Kleb Lamau.
Well, I established my offensive lineman at 6 for the Browns, getting the best one in Freeling. So drum roll, please. They address the wide receiver position with the man out of Texas A&M KC Conception, our man.
Yeah.
All right, they get a 2-part player there. They get a wide receiver and they get a dope-ass return specialist, Definitely going to help them out there. They're not going to pass on a receiver in this first round. I don't give it to them at the first pick that they got in the first round, but I give it to them here to add that depth. And you get a return man out of it, You can plug him in there. If he's not working out and you want to utilize him or rotate him around the guys in the wide receiver room, you got someone on a punt return or the kick return to see if he's got you success there. Versatility, right? That's what we're talking about in this league. That's what players want, guys that can do more than just one job. So yeah, I got them going with him and helping out that very grim wide receiver room, as we stated already. But
Yeah.
Getting the tackle first.
Okay, moving on. Pick number 25. My dark horse of the last season, Chicago Bears. We have no comment in here. And for me, I think they have quite a few options they can go with, but I am going to go with an offensive tackle here to kind of keep that offensive line, just beefed up. Make sure they have the depth over there. Like Vic said earlier, the point, which is, why not just, keep what's good, keep it better. Sometimes guys get hurt, guys get tired, and I feel like them going with an offensive tackle, big boy too, 6'7", 317 pounds, I believe it is. Big dude. I like him, so I'm good for him to go over there to Chicago and really make a even if it becomes a depth piece or if he starts right away, whatever it is, I feel like he's got opportunity over there. Chicago Bears are one of those teams I think they're going to be a good against here, and I'm excited to see him.
Come on, get in your bed. Look.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't have the Bears going offense up here. I actually feel like their safety room is kind of slim. And yeah, they have a safety back there, but for how long? I feel like their best option here is going to be Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. And I feel like he's just going to apply help for them back there at safety. I feel like I said, it's slimming out back there.
That was 4. I feel like I can't. Gotta stop.
It's going to help them. So yeah, I have them going Warren with this pick.
Chuck.
Yeah, they were the best turnover differential team last year on defense. I don't think they need any help there right now. If they can replicate that again this season, so I'm gonna go on the inside, give on the edge, Zion Young out of Missouri. Get the pressure, big power player right there. Bring some intensity on that edge and just increase your pressure. Increase the pressure. Your guys in the DBs had plenty of success. You get more pressure to the quarterback, more mistakes for the quarterbacks, more joy to the world for us Chicago fans there, for your guys to just get in toes, and returns and pass breakups. So what you did so well last year, generating turnovers, and that's a guy that's going to definitely bring some pressure and help QBs make bad decisions, generate more turnovers. So Zion Young to the Bears. The Bears.
The Bears. At number 26, we have the team that disappointed, I think, most of America. And it's going to be pocket number 26. The Buffalo Bills. This team, what they need right now, I don't know if it's a quarterback anymore. I don't know if it's a wide receiver. I don't know if it's a defense. I don't know if it's a coach. I don't know if it's just the new water boy. Maybe they need some high quality H2O over there. But all I know is that I'm tired of seeing them have such good potential to really come out and do something and then just drop the ball. So you know what? I'm just going to keep throwing options at them until they do good. So for them, I'm actually giving them Casey Conceptions over there, and I'm having him go there as a wide receiver to really add something to this offense, because I don't know what else you need this team. The Buffalo Bills, they just end up just not having the wide receiver power. They didn't go grab a number 1 in the offseason for the free agency. You're not finding the number 1 wide receiver now this late into the season, or into the offseason already. You got to get someone, because your offensive room is just not good enough the way it is. it's somehow that they are this far back in the draft, but I feel like they should be so much further up ahead because of how just miserable that loss was in the playoffs. I just do not understand how you end up losing that game. I don't understand, and I'm not blaming the defense. I'm not even blaming the refs. Josh Allen caused a lot of turnovers there himself, so I'm not even. I'm sick of the excuses for him. So I'm gonna go straight up. Just get Casey Conceptions. Get a fast guy, someone he can throw to, another option, because I don't know what else you give this dude to make this team go all the way. You didn't have any of the QBs before. I'm not even going to go into that. Let's not even touch the subject. That's it. Casey Conception at number 26 for the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, I kind of also have them going wide receiver, but I don't have them going Casey's Concepcion. I have them going Amari Cooper Jr.
Didn't you already give them to someone?
Nope.
Am I lost?
I said the Jets could possibly select him,
Ah, okay.
but I have the Bills selecting him, and he's gonna imply instant help on that long ball for the Bills. The Bills don't have a true number one, and if you select Amari Cooper Jr. here, he can possibly be that number one for Josh Allen.
Is that Amari Cooper's son?
It's Junior, so I assume. Maybe. Is it the same guy?
That'd be crazy.
Is it the same
No,
Cooper?
it's Omar.
Oh, all right. I was like, yo, damn, what age did you have him, bro?
At the age of
10
6.
years younger than me.
All right, number 27 here. San
Hold
Francisco.
on, I didn't even go, bro. You
Oh, my
skipping
bad.
right
Oh,
over
my
me.
bad.
Yeah, you're
I'm
skipping
sorry, I'm
right
sorry.
over Victor. What the
I-
hell?
Unbelievable. The guy with the most life here. Oh, my team, huh?
Go ahead.
Buffalo. I got them going defense. I think they need a corner. Obviously their team's been choking. Joshy boy needs to clean it up. And honestly, I don't even blame their receiving room, their running room. He's just made some idiotic decisions. He's got to live with. I think they do need a corner, though. I'm gonna go Avion Terrell, I believe his name is, cornerback out of Clemson. Great man corner. Generates pass breakups when he's playing defense. If you go back and look at their games last season, Josh did ruin a lot of games for them, kept them in a lot of games, but they always gave up big plays down the field. Even in the Denver game that they lost, you know what I mean? Yeah, he lost it for them, but there was some pretty big plays that, maybe a good corner or a solid corner or like another corner on that team might help them decrease plays like that, and some pretty close plays. I mean, I'm going back to that play that was called a flag or wasn't a flag, that catch we all saw. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta try and strengthen up that room. It's a little old. I forgot his name, but I'm gonna go cornerback, man. I don't think you can go bad grabbing a corner that is a great man corner, could try and take out an option out of the game for you and let them beat you with their 2 and 3s and tight ends and slots. So yeah, I'm gonna go corner, and Josh has to just figure out a way to win. I mean, keep losing by all means. I'm cool. I'm a Jets fan, so.
All right, now moving on to number 27.
Now you can skip over.
Number 27 here on the clock, we have the San Francisco 49ers. And I'm going to go ahead and give them, I right now had them taking defensive tackle here. Because I just don't know how, they're another one here that just has such a good team. And outside of an offensive lineman, like to be any kind of bolstering, I just don't know what else they take at the moment. So I'm going to go ahead and give these guys Christian Miller out of Georgia, defensive tackle. Bolster up that defense. You have a very offensive-heavy division. Be the thing that evens them out. This is a situation where I feel offense wins
Can I just
games.
interrupt real quick?
Yeah, what's up?
Just reading something real quick. Don't know if it changes the Giants pick at 5 from Sonny, but they did just sign a linebacker that played with the Jets and the Chiefs, and he's 26 years old. His name is Cam Jones, to a 1-year contract. Just throwing it out there.
We'll have to revisit that. I don't know if it's going to change it, but hey, we'll absolutely see.
Yeah, just wanted to throw it out there.
I know, man.
Go ahead.
I give Christian Miller to the Texans here at 28, defensive tackle. I just think they have a great offensive.
28.
Yeah. Sorry. My
27, we're on the Niners.
bad. Not Texans. Yes, my bad. Sorry.
Damn, bro, you all chumped up.
Yeah, you threw me off there for a second. I had it
You
going.
didn't eat your Cheerios, bro.
I didn't have my here. Some more.
I'll send you some Wheaties. There you go. Eat the turtles.
What's it called? Yeah, I haven't taken them. So I think the San Francisco 49ers offense will win them a game against these top tier offenses that they're in the division with, against the Rams and the and against the Seahawks. I feel like just you bolster up that defense and be ready for war.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Pat here. I have them going defense, but I don't have them going defensive tackle here. I have somebody sliding up in the draft at edge. I have them going Makai Lawrence from UCF at edge. I feel like he just provides more depth for them at there. Can apply the pressure, can stop the run, and can get in there and attack the quarterback. So I feel like he's going to give instant help to that team.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Niners are going offensive tackle Blake Miller out of Clemson. Shoring up on that, could be next man up from Trent Williams. He's still there, right? I believe Trent Williams, that old man that's still stubborn in the league. Or put him on the other side. Consistency is key. Get the protection solidified over there. I don't think that's gonna hurt them whatsoever. Yeah, Blake Miller, offensive tackle.
Okay. Number 28. Now we have the Texans coming out 28. They are on the clock, and I'm going to go ahead and give them Dan's pick from earlier. I'm going to give them Junior. I'm going to give them Amari Cooper Jr. I'm giving them over there. Cooper Jr. I'm giving them over there because this is a team that I think has had some wide receiver struggle outside of Nico Collins. They have Dell, but I mean, do they really even have Tank Dell? Get depth back there because it's just uncanny how you guys constantly have injuries with this wide receiver core. So give me someone over there. Make someone over there that's really gonna to put the offense to you guys, because this is a deep wide receiver room and deep wide receiver draft, and you guys need to take one desperately. Your defense is one of the greatest. Please don't take a guy coming out in this draft.
Yeah, I have the Texans. Like, I know you said you don't want them to go defense, but I have them going an interior defensive lineman over here. I have them going Club Banks. And yeah, I know Club Banks have dealt with foot injuries, but I feel like I said, I don't know where these interior linemen are going to fall. But I feel like if Club Banks fall to them, or if Caden McDaniels fall to them, I feel like they're going to slide up and take that opportunity to get people that could apply more pressure to the quarterback and help them stop the run a little bit more and bolster up that defense.
Yeah, I'm going to go on the defensive tackle as well. Christian Miller, the Georgia man. Defense was great last year and helps the interior big time between Anderson and Hunter. Extra inside pressure. Want to keep that number one presence there. Just going to help you out with the run and providing pressure. Put that body there and let him do what he does best, which is just tear up the inside. With those two guys around him, I think it's just going to be that much more pressure that they can generate. Obviously, wide receiver and that offense needs some work, but I think they can wait. And I would attack the interior on defense.
All right, number 29, we have the Kansas City Chiefs again with a second pick here. And I have them going with another defensive pick. I think they're going to keep bolstering up this defense. And I have Davion Terrell here at cornerback out of Clemson. I didn't pick him here at all, but I mean, I have him coming up into this place because I just think that bolstering up that defense is very important, especially since that you already know that I don't think Patrick Mahomes comes back week 1. I don't know if he's going to be ready right away, and you're going to be dealing with the likes of oh my God, what's the space that you guys just traded for? Who was it from the Jets? Justin Fields. You guys have to be dealing with Justin Fields, and although I think that offense is much better than the Jets' was, and they could definitely do good with Justin Fields there, I think that the defense is going to come really in clutch. I think we're going to be facing a similar situation to last season. How does the beginning of the season go without Patrick Mahomes? Patrick Mahomes is not ready by week 1, and I think that's where we're at right now. So if he is ready, that's great. But otherwise, I think that just defense is your biggest key that you guys are missing right now. Offense, they just improved. Offensively, they should have all their guys. I just give me more defense. So I'm taking Terrell over there, cornerback, coming right out.
I also have the Chiefs going defense here, but I'm going with somebody that fits the mold of Steve Spagnuolo's defense in Zion Young out of Missouri. I feel like with somebody as big as him, he's 260, 6'5". I feel like he could instantly give help to that edge and apply pressure, especially after losing oh my god, what's his name that they just lost?
Bug Bunny.
No, who was their edge? Oh my god.
The old dude?
No, he was young. I can't remember who they lost. But I feel like they're going to replace him with Zion Young.
They're going to play Young with Young?
No.
Yeah, I'm going end as well. I don't have Zion up there. Obviously, he went for me already, so I'm going Keldrick Falk from Auburn. Big body on the edge, solid improvement right away. That edge room is pretty weak, and they're gonna need somebody there. He's a very powerful player, big body, like I said. I think he's definitely gonna help that, that front in many ways.
Oh my god, George Karlaftis. He's going to help
Okay.
George
Well,
Karlaftis out.
yeah. Well, regardless, I'm going end as well. I think they need it. It's a crucial need. They got the safety for me at the first one, and they're gonna continue to apply on that defense.
Okay, so number 30 here. Oh, God. Sorry, I have to do it all from my phone. Number 30 here, we have the Miami Dolphins coming up on the clock. And for me, I have them going. I'm going to actually take a little bit of a defensive approach here for them. I know they need the offense, but I think with the new identity thing, you're going to have a whole bunch of different things you're going to have here. And I think, they could use someone like Colton Hood back there at the cornerback position out of Tennessee. And that's who I'm going to take here. He's a really fast guy, really speedy dude. That's what Miami has been over the last couple of years, is speedy. Now this time they're going to shift over to defense with it. It's either that or they're gonna trade, or they're gonna wait until the second round to go get a wide receiver. But right now, I just think that best available for me, I think I have them taking the cornerback right now at this position.
Yeah, I also agree with you here. I feel like the Dolphins here are going to select the cornerback, but I think they're going to select Avion Terrell here at quarterback.
Oh.
I feel like he slid to them. Why not just get him to help out that defense?
Yeah, I got Miami going cornerback as well. I think his name is Brandon Sis or whatever. He's from South Carolina.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Solid solid combine, instant improvement, and you can slide them right into play. I had them taking a receiver in their first one. We're going to go to defense, and they get 1 on O and 1 on D to try and make some improvements and help them out with that rebuild of whatever circus show they're going to be running this season. Who knows? Maybe it's not a circus show. But yeah, got them going cornerback, DB.
All right, number 31, we have the New England Patriots. I think on top of them already having one of the best quarterbacks that will ever in the history, in Drake May. Really good guy. I think he's going to be a Super Bowl contender for the rest of his career.
6 wins this season. Go check the schedule. Fuck out of here. Who are you, New England?
I got them going wide receiver here because, again, I think they're another team that just lacked the wide receiver. It's just unfortunate they fell this far down after being so good this year and being like the AFC East team in the league and really just being the overall proven they are the best AFC team in general. There's no other one else that could stop them. Clearly, as Vic was saying earlier, they're just the best AFC team I think in the league right now. So I think they're going to end up taking Denzel Boston here out of Washington. And I just got them. I think they got a tall guy. They got Dobbs. They got Dobbs, and that's cool. But it's just that's not your number one. Dobbs, to me, isn't even your number 2. I mean, at this stage in the game. So I feel like this guy is 6'4". He'll come in, make an impact, and if we do get AJ Brown, which I think actively working on that deal. But I think people have been saying that nothing might happen until after June 1st is what I'm hearing. So I guess we're waiting for that. But for now, I'm taking a wide receiver because that's what's available. That's what they need, and I'm not counting on the fact that they could potentially get AJ Brown off of the Eagles. So I'm just going with him right away.
Yeah, if they potentially get AJ Brown, I think wide receivers possibly still on the table, but it really depends. But even then, I feel like if you draft a wide receiver and having him play behind AJ Brown, I feel like you really don't give the person room to grow. So I feel like with this pick, they're going to go Cassius Hall at the edge. And yeah, I get Cassius is a little bit smaller. His arms are a little bit smaller, but I feel like Mark
Vic doesn't agree with your.
No,
He's not. He's
I feel like
really
with
adamant
Verbal
today
there-
about this stuff.
we've seen him work with lower or smaller armed players before, and I just feel like that's the perfect pick for them right now.
Yeah, I'm not going wide receiver here. I think there's someone that they can really grab here that can make like an impact, a turnover, like machine here in a safety, Emmanuel McNeil. I don't even know what Toledo, whatever college he's out of. I might be butchering that up, but this guy, Toledo, 10 forced fumbles, 5 interceptions, 4 seasons. Okay, yeah. Sorry, my handwriting kind of butchered me up there. I was like, what was that right? I was like, Toledo, what? Yeah, Toledo. This guy is a turnover machine, man, and their defense is not very strong. They're coming into a very hard schedule where their defense is going to have to try and win them some of these games. I mean, I think he's just going to be instant help if they can plug him in and get him some reps there. He's a turnover machine, and his 4 seasons over there. And he could be a force, in that DB room for them if they can utilize him right. I don't think this guy needs any other weapons on offense. I mean, he might going up on his schedule, but yeah, I got them going safety to help that DB room. Try and strengthen up that defense. Knowing Vrabel, he might want to go in that direction, trying to pivot and strengthen up the defense in the backfield area.
Okay.
Finally, the last one.
Number 32 here, the Seattle Seahawks, the Super Bowl champions, just got rid of Tyreek Woolen, right? They're going to need a cornerback here, and I think they're going with Brandon Cease as well out of South Carolina. I think they need to replace him. I don't know if this really gets the job done, but it's a start, and at least get potential to see if he's going to really fill those shoes. Tyreek Woolen was one of those guys I think are an elite back, and an elite cornerback in there. I just don't know how you replace him right off the bat, but if they do, that's great for them. I don't know how possible it is, but it would be great to see that. So, we'll see how, but I think that's where they end up going, is defense. Just replace that hole you just lost. It's pretty simple to me.
Yeah, I also have them going D-backs. I know some people have them going Jadarian Priest here for running back, but I just don't see it. I feel like after, like you said, them losing out on Reek Woolen, I feel like they need more help at cornerback than they do running back right now. And I feel like they're going to go with Colton Hood here just to help them out a little bit and give him time to grow and develop into a cornerback.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Dan. You say Colton Hood, right, out of Tennessee? Yep. Fits the scheme. Lengthy corner. He can cover. He can break up passes. I think he'll get big reps year one. Obviously, they need an addition, a replacement to losing Reek. And, and he kind of fits that same kind of model build that he is. So I think that they'll be able to incorporate him. He won't have the same production as Reek, obviously, but, being the build that he was, maybe they can help him transition into maybe that kind of caliber cornerback in the future.
Okay. That's all 32 picks from the first round. Moving on to the second round, we have pick number 1. We have the.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just do the whole draft now. Now that you
Close now.
If you don't start in right now, I said we do this. It'll be a 20-hour podcast. Get it done.
Yeah, okay. I'll see you tonight. Running through all night. We'll do a 30-hour special.
We hope you guys enjoyed.
No lightning?
Lightning
No
round.
lightning.
Who do you think is going round 2? Pick 1. Lightning round. Who do you have going for? Who do you think number 1 through 32 go for in the second round for each team?
Yeah, I'm not doing all 32. Get out of here.
Shit, no, I didn't come up with one. I figured we were just gonna end it there for that because it's just simple fact that we had a full thing. I figured we were just doing the podcast this time with the straight up. Okay, fine. All right, you know what? Lightning round. It's actually a good one that pertains to what we just did. We had the most shocking mock pick out of the three of us. Like, which pick surprised you the most out of the three of us? Which one do you feel was really like the one that's like, wow?
I remember all 32.
Yes.
Yeah,
Technically,
what the hell?
Between two of you,
Oh my
almost.
god! All right, fine.
We went through 94 picks or 96 picks.
Yeah, and you guys can't remember 96 people?
How about you do this?
Yeah.
Who do we believe out of the 32 players that we nominated has the best chance of being offensive or defense or player of the year out of their class? Offense or defense? Who do we think has the most potential to climb to stardom?
For both or just for one side of them?
Just in totality, not each position, just out of offense and defense. Who's the best player overall? I know it's a hard thing to do, but who's the most, who's the best player out of those 32 players? Who do we think's going to have the most?
Are you talking about success all?
Rookie of the year.
Yes,
Basically
success
rookie of the
overall
straight up.
in year one. Who has the most success? The biggest jump, climb, whatever you want to call it. That's a little easier to throw out
Most
there.
success. I'll take this one first. Off of my mock draft, if I'm going with when it goes there, I'm taking Jordan Tyson. I feel him with the with the Saints. Really just an easy pick for me here. I think he's just gonna have like the Mbuka effect that we just seen on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's coming in a situation where he gets to be the number 2 and really shine with a brand new offense. And I just think that they already showed signs of it last year. They're gonna take it even further this year with Jordan Tyson on their team if they grab him.
I'm also gonna go Jordan Tyson, but because if he can stay healthy and injuries don't riddle him, I think he could be the number 1 wide receiver in this draft.
Jeremiah Love for me.
Okay. There you go. We have 3 defensive picks for our thing here, and we're all good. So that's it.
Offensive picks, not defensive picks.
I'm trying to get Vic's reaction.
Okay.
All right. If you guys enjoyed the mock draft, we actually are going to be doing a full live stream on the day of the draft. It's going to be on YouTube and on Twitch. So we're going to be here live for the first time on YouTube here. So enjoy. Hope you guys enjoy. Forget to like and subscribe, tell your friends, and follow us on social media. Talk to you guys later on, and see you guys for the next episode of the BSBN podcast. Have a good night, guys.
Peace.